Well, week 2 of the college football season already done. Frank Frangie, Campus Corner for another week. The Gators getting their first win, not against a great team, but still a win's a win.
And they had to play well, Alessandra, because this is the big one. Tennessee comes calling, and Tennessee is a very good football team, the best Tennessee team that's gone to Gainesville in a long time. The Vols haven't won in Gainesville since 2003. It's been 20 years since Tennessee has won in Gainesville. A week ago, people would have thought Florida has no chance in this game. I think that's changed a little bit now. Florida's got a better defense than anyone expected. Forget McNeese State. They weren't very good. But I think Florida's got a pretty good defense. The question is, can they score enough to keep up with Tennessee? I don't love Joe Milton's play, the Tennessee quarterback, the first 2 weeks. So I think that's a closer game than people think. Florida's job and their goal, keep that a fourth quarter game. Get the crowd involved, get Tennessee a little bit nervous, but I think Florida's good defensively. I think Florida is good enough defensively to stay in the game. The question is, can the Florida offense and Graham Mertz score enough to keep up? Going to be a terrific game in Gainesville, no question.
Yeah, an SEC matchup. Number 11 Tennessee coming to town at Florida. So that kickoff is at 7 p.m. Now talking about another SEC opponent, Georgia, number 1 ranked team, of course, once again undefeated. They are hosting South Carolina this weekend.
South Carolina has played well against Georgia, beat them a few years ago when nobody thought they could. So they're not afraid of Georgia, but Georgia's better. Georgia has a really good football team. It's a good test. The thing that'll work against Georgia a little bit is they have not been tested. South Carolina has already played North Carolina, who has a really good football team and a very good quarterback in Drake May. Now they're playing a quarterback that is similar to him in Carson Beck. So South Carolina is a little more tested, but Georgia's the better team. Georgia has a really good football team. Georgia's going to be a prohibitive favorite. The most important thing for Georgia, don't be asleep at the wheel because you're expected to win every game. But I think Georgia's going to be okay. It'll be a fun game. Fun way to start the SEC season for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, finally an actual matchup for Georgia, which is nice to see. That game is going to be 3:30. And then the noon kickoff for Florida State. They're at Boston College. An ACC matchup for them. Once again, not really that much of an opponent, even though it is the ACC opponent. But still, Florida State looking really good.
They're going to bury Boston College. Boston College is way down. They've had coaching changes. They've had a lot of stuff going on. They lost a quarterback who now plays at Pitt. I think Florida State's going to bury Boston College. I really like where this Florida State team is. They play Clemson in a couple weeks on the road, so then you'll get a real test. I love what Mike Norvell's done. They never flinched, no matter how much noise there was in the system, as they say early on. I think he's done a terrific job. I think they go on the road. This is a true road game now. You'll see how you play the first time you leave the state of Florida. But I think Florida State is ready. They are deep. They're physical. And Alessandra, they've got that thing you get now that when you start believing you're better, when you start believing you get that swagger. I think Florida State's got that swagger now. Good luck trying to beat the Noles.
And absolutely rising up to number 3 in the rankings for Florida State. So, and I completely agree with you. They are on a roll. They're doing really well. I think they're going to have a good season.
I do too. I love where the Noles are.
Yeah, maybe they'll increase to number 2. Then we have Georgia, Florida State, Florida.
As a Florida grad, that's just great. That's just exactly what I want. Florida State and Georgia 1 and 2.
Listen, I went to Alabama. We had a horrible week. So, you know what? I feel your pain, too.
Did you notice I didn't even bring up Alabama?
I know.
made on purpose not to bring up Alabama this week.
Listen, we don't need to bring that one up. We're just going to leave that in week 2. We're on to week 3 now. Well, thank you, Frank Frangie, so much. And that's your look at sports.